I don't even know
Well,
what you're going to hit me with today, but I'm ready.
wow, you're ready. Brian
Yeah.
is ready. We are going to come at you. We are going to come at you strong. All right, everybody, welcome to Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I am John, and we are here with Brian. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, leave some comments. We're always willing to go to it. How you doing today, Brian?
I'm ready. Let's
Oh,
go.
you're ready.
Let's
I guess
go.
I. Hey, everybody, he's ready. I just want to tell you, he's ready. All right. So we have discussed this previously that Red Sox fans are manic depressive. Brian 2 weeks ago said we weren't even going to make the playoffs. Now he's had 2 weeks of Red Sox energy. How you feeling about the team now, Brian?
Man, dude, the people like you are going to be so let down
Hmm.
when they tank this thing out.
Okay. Okay. That's great. We had,
Not
if you
really.
can,
Not really. I'm going to say they've made a surprising turnaround since the All-Star break when they decided to do nothing of substance. And then they
absolutely.
come out and they sweep the Astros without even using their two best pitchers. And then
Right.
they just took 2 out of 3 from the Royals, who are a wild card contender. Like I always say with the Red Sox, though, it all depends on the next series. But so far, they're looking good. I did tell you the Yankees were going to struggle and fall back, and that has
Hmm.
happened true to form, of course.
Yes.
So, yeah, the Red
Yes.
Sox are looking good, and I'm going to be rooting for the Dodgers this weekend. How's that sound?
Well, uh, I don't even know what you're talking about. Who is this? Who is this? What are you?
They're
Why are you rooting
they're
for the
playing the
Dodgers?
blue. They're hosting the Blue Jays this weekend.
Let
So
me
I'm
ask you
gonna
this: Does
I'm
winning
gonna
the
I'm gonna hope the
does
Dodgers put together a nice sweep of the Blue Jays.
does winning the division matter?
Yes,
Does I'm asking why?
yes,
Why?
because you're there to win. Bottom line,
Uh, okay,
you're there to
all
win.
right. You're there to
No
win,
team
huh?
sets. I mean, if they did, as the owner, I would be saying, okay, I got the wrong people in place. If the mindset of the GM and the manager and everybody else involved in the baseball operation says our goal is to win 85 games so we can squeak into the playoffs.
Yeah, but
No,
I
then I
mean,
got the wrong people working for me if that's what their
nah.
quest is.
Well, I mean, that's your quest. That's your quest. But my quest is to win a title. I don't really care. I mean, let me ask
Right.
you this:
But
are the Dodgers more successful than the Red Sox this century? The Dodgers have won eminently
no,
more games, right? And that's
nope.
because we have 4 titles and they have 1.1, whatever we're going to call it, right? Let's give them one and a
Right.
partial credit, right?
They have a lot more division wins than us.
Absolutely. I think they're on
And
10
I
years
do
in a row.
know because the Giants beat them a couple years back.
Okay.
Uh, and then the Dodgers beat the Giants in the playoffs. But I think winning the division matters. It's a winning mindset that the players on the field and the coaches on the field need to have to drive things forward towards the ultimate goal.
I understand that. And I am going
Do you
to
think the
just,
Phillies and the Mets are sitting there in their locker rooms going, hey, it doesn't really matter. I know we flip flop every 3 days, but we're going to be in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. Or are they saying, man, I hope we freaking win this thing?
well, I mean, I think last year we saw this, and I'm going to say, I'm going to be bad with this team. There was a team that was neck and neck, and they just pulled back to get their starting pitching aligned for the playoffs. Is that not trying to win?
I, you know, I, ah, it's not
Okay,
trying to
okay,
win. If you're
okay.
intentionally not putting your scheduled starter out there to save him for another day, then you're not trying to win that day.
You're absolutely right. But the last 2 weeks of the season, we see a lot of teams just lining up their pitching staff for the playoffs because having your number one starter ready is more essential, I think, than whether you get a wild card or you get a division win. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but I also think you only see that on teams that have their spots secured. Like if a team has that
Sure, sure,
uh,
sure. Absolutely.
big lead in the division and they're not going to be a chance of dropping down to a wild card spot, then they can
Hmm.
kind of coast that last week or 10 days to get things lined up the way they want. Give some of their position
Right.
players an extra day off or whatever. But I think if you're battling for the division and you're within a shooting target of it, I think you absolutely should be going for it.
All right. So the Red Sox signed phenom rookie Roman Anthony, 8 years, $130 million. His slash line is amazing. 283, 400, 428 on base. I did see an incredible statistic with him, and baseball is just inundated with statistics. It's something you like and something you probably hate, but he is in the top 20 of all of Major League Baseball at swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. He is a high profile hitter in the zone, and I mean, honestly, no matter how good we thought he'd be, I think he's meeting expectations. What are your thoughts?
He is meeting the expectations. More so that I mean, the Red Sox, everybody, all the ESPNers and everybody else was touting the three hot prospects when they
Sure.
went into spring training. And I mean, it was even talked about how all three of them should have made the opening day roster.
Right.
Obviously, they picked the wrong one for whatever reason, and then they
Well,
locked him up
service
long
time.
term.
Service time. Well, that's what they did, right? They did the service time thing. That's what they were trying to do there. Let's I'm going to ask you a
I
straight
suppose
question. I'm going to ask you a straight question. Going forward, from this moment forward, in the next 5 years, who's going to have a better career, Rafael Devers or Roman Anthony?
Roman Anthony, and I say that
I
because Devers is already what 30 years old. He's
Yeah,
gonna start his downward trajectory anyway. Even if
maybe.
even if he hadn't had this incredible fall since the trade, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he had,
Hmm.
let's say he was still on the Red Sox and still doing the same thing, everything stayed the same, he would start to decline slightly just because of the age factor. Let's face it, he's not a guy that's always kept himself in tip-top physical condition.
Yeah, but what about Kyle
So
Schwarber?
I'd say that guy's a little stronger than Rafi Devers and probably hits the weight room a little harder.
I think I Yeah, you're probably correct there, but I think he also plays in a smaller park too. I think that's a big
I mean,
factor too.
I don't, I don't ever recall Devers hitting 40 home runs in a season, and Schwarber's done it a few times.
Sure. He's actually, I want
So
to say he's done it last 4 years in a row. I think he had a
yeah,
38 in there, but yeah.
I think Devers is one of those guys. He's about to turn the corner and start that gradual decline. Not saying he's going to be totally worthless,
Right.
but and Roman Anthony is just going to progress up because as he gets more accustomed to the major league hitting, he appears to be the type of hitter that's going to elevate his game with game. So
We're
the
gonna
higher level he gets to, he's going to keep rising to it.
We'll see. I mean, when I look at rookie hitters, there's two resets. They come into the league. Let's just say they have success. The league readjusts. They have to readjust to the league, and then the league readjusts, and then we see what the real player is. To me, that's a year process, year and a half. We've seen plenty of phenoms who flame out, and we've seen other guys who come in and slowly build to what you're talking about. You seem to think Roman Anthony is going to be that individual. Look at Campbell. We had high expectations for him, and maybe he's still trying to readjust to the league.
I don't know. He's not going to readjust to it down in AAA though,
Well, they sometimes
because
guys go down to
he
AAA.
already proved he could. He already proved he could play down there,
He sure did. He's re-
right?
he's really good at Double A. He
So
could be Double A
let's
game player of the year.
Let's play this dude 8 mil a year and have him freaking hang out in Pawtucket and make sure they get that AAA flag, right?
Oh, we need it. We need it. It's the playoff push in Pawtucket. I went to the Angel game yesterday, and Mike Trout, jacked one, which I was really happy. I know that's your boy, that's your boy. And I thought to myself, I wish Brian could be here to see the last fading embers of glory for what was Mike Trout. And on the same day, Shohei Ohtani hit a home run to get his 1,000th hit. Also, 8 strikeouts in 4 innings. Are we still not believing that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player ever?
No, we're not.
Oh,
Or
Brian.
I'm not. I'm not. You are.
Fair.
I'm not.
I am. I am. I'm down with it. I think Shoei is, I'm gonna say, the best. I'm trying to think of who would be the last guy. Maybe Willie Mays. Um I don't count Barry Bonds. But yeah, I'd say Willie Mays. He's the best player since Willie Mays. Okay. I digress.
I
Did
think so here's the thing where I just have a different view than I guess everyone else in the world. So
Okay, but that's why you're on the
I will
podcast.
just yeah, I'll just be the one that disagrees. I think because he pitches every once a week or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make him any more special than a guy that plays defense at another position every single day. I mean, there's tons of kids that do it growing up in high school. You know, your best guy is going to be your freaking best pitcher and your best hitter. You've heard it a million times. And then there's even guys that do it in college. But just what happens is everybody makes them choose one or the other eventually, and they have to stop. And for whatever reason, Shohei was allowed to keep going. I think there's plenty of guys that could probably hit and pitch. I think, I mean, look at recent history. Madison
Rick.
Bumgarner. If
Okay.
Madison Bumgarner was allowed to hit regularly coming up through the minors, he could have been doing what Shohei's doing, or at least close to it, I think.
No.
Because that guy
But
raked as a pitcher.
he was. He was. I'm not as a pitcher. The closest,
Right.
the closest person we've seen to Shohei Ohtani is like Rick Ankiel. You remember the Cardinal star? He
Yeah.
pitched. He also was in the center field. I mean, he was that kind of guy. But I think the thing is that all sports have become so bloody specialized that you have to literally focus 100% on whatever you do well. I mean, to make the major leagues, to be a star. And Shohei is that guy. Whatever the ecosystem, and I'm not going to disagree with your point because I think it's very valid. Maybe Japan has a different ecosystem. Maybe he was special. They allowed him to indulge in whatever, but we're still not seeing it. To me, it's the same thing as the NFL. We have a player like Travis Hunter, who's a wide receiver and a defensive back, right? He's going to try and go back and forth. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because of the physical demands on his body. But at the end, in the NFL, in the MLB, when you're good at something, they just grind you into it. You're doing nothing but study. You're doing nothing but whatever that special skill is. Don't you think? I don't see.
Absolutely,
Do
100%.
you think
And
we're
I'll
going to
tell you
see
what,
another
as a,
Shohei Ohtani?
uh, I think we potentially could, but I also think that we won't. I mean, I think there's
Okay.
potential for it to happen, but I don't think anybody's going to let it happen because uh, the investment they make, oh, we don't want him to blow out his arm because then we're going to lose a hitter, or vice versa,
Right.
whatever.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
there are, and I saw this. I mean, as a little league coach, dude, coaching my boys, they're 10, 11, 12 years old. Their parents are thinking these kids are major leaguers,
Right.
and they're prepping for the pros already. And what
Right.
happens is they don't let them play any other sports. Now, when I was a
Right.
kid growing up, we played baseball in baseball season. We played basketball in basketball season. We played football in football season. And when it
Right.
wasn't one of those and we were just bored, we'd go out and play soccer.
Wow.
But
Sorry to hear that.
yeah,
I
well, I
I
said we
call
were
that
bored.
punishment. I call it
I said
punishment.
we
But
were
okay.
bored.
Yeah. All
But
right.
But now the kids, and I don't think that at all slows an athlete's development because they're doing more different skills. They're using their body in more different movement patterns and agility levels and all this kind of stuff. That creates a greater overall athlete. And nowadays, these kids get uh, grabbed by their parents at 10 or 11 years old because they accidentally hit a home run one day. Oh, this guy's going to the major leagues. He's only
Right.
going to play baseball year round. We're going to sign him up on a travel team. We're going to buy him the $500 bat and the $200 cleats. And they invest all this money in a kid and burn him out. And they're not that great anyway. But it just, and that happens all the way through. They never get to develop and experience more growth as an athlete. And that's why no one's going to let somebody try to do both like Shohei. They're going to say you got to pick pitch or hit, one or the other.
Hmm.
And so I
Well,
think it's unique, but I think other guys could do it if they were allowed to try.
you know, baseball, there is, let's take the NFL out of it and let's look at the other three major sports. The thing that has really developed in the last 20 years is the international flavor. 20 years ago, I mean, you and I were around when Hideo Nomo came over, right? And that was like, whoa, we're seeing somebody coming over because we always looked down our nose at them. We always looked down at Korea, Japan. I remember back in '88, and it was really a shocking moment for me, was after the Dodgers won the World Series, they had an all-star team. And I mean, they had an all-star team. They had Roger Clemens, Oral Hershiser. They were bringing everybody, right? And they went over to Japan and they lost. They lost, I think, 3 out of 5 games. And I was like, I immediately discounted it because I thought, well, the guys are all partying, they're doing blow. It was the '80s, right? And
They're doing
they're out there in the Ginza,
they're doing
doing
blow with the
whatever.
geisha dancers.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And now I look back on it and there was something there. And because of so many international players now, I think that, you can get to the major leagues with one pitch, right? Or having like Jock Peterson having the ability to launch a home run, because of the metrics. But for the most part, I think because there's so much competition, you better really double down on it real quick. I mean, I agree with your philosophy on letting kids have a well-rounded sports background, but I think nowadays to get to the majors, I mean, we have kids at 16 getting Tommy John surgery so they can improve the strength of
Exactly.
their arm, right?
Well, that's what happens
Insane.
when they don't do anything but throw a baseball from the ages of 10 to 16. You know,
That's true.
you
Yeah, you're
got
right.
you got to give that elbow a freaking year, 8 months off while you go play football or something.
So, talking about taking some time off, let's talk really quick. We're going to finish it up here. Let's talk about the Colorado Rockies. The Blue Jays rolled in, and I haven't seen anything like that since the Panzer units went into Poland at the beginning of World War II, and it was called Blitzkrieg. The Jays, let me give you the 3 games. They had 63 hits for the series. The opener, they won 15-1. The second game was competitive. It was the CB game. It was 10-4. And then the final game was 20-1. Vlad Guerrero extended his on base streak to 23 games. Colorado's run differential at 116 games is minus 316. They are they are 3 games back. I mean, 3 runs back per game they played this year. Should we relegate them? Should we bring Pawtucket up? Put them in Colorado?
Dude, they're going to beat the right. They're going to do more than the White Sox did last year. They're going
I
to.
don't think so. They're 30-88. I
You
don't
only
know
got
if
to
they're
get
going to
to
get.
41, dude.
I know. I don't think they're going to get 11 wins in the next 42 games, but we shall see. We will keep monitoring it. Okay, you got any last blast for the day?
Uh, yeah, I wanted to throw in there. I'm glad you mentioned Mike Trout hitting that homer yesterday because I looked at the box score yesterday to see what he did, and I saw that he hit that home run. I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, right on. So he's got 20 for the year.
Okay.
So that's a pretty solid number. And he's up to 87 games played this year.
Okay.
Another solid number. Uh, The thing I noticed though, looking at his full stat line, is no doubles and triples. It's like single or
Yeah.
home run. So, and the average is still down at 240. So he's not
Yeah.
100% what he used to be, but I guess a 240 average in today's game is actually pretty
It's not bad.
acceptable.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's acceptable, right?
So I'm
Go ahead.
hoping this is like the rebuild kind of year for Mike Trout, and then and he finishes this off. No more injuries this year. He finishes off the season, then has a good off season, comes back, and next year we get to see him, uh, not at his peak, but even a better version than we're getting this year. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm going to tell you a play that really, as I was watching the game, really surprised me. Is Mike Trout hit a grounder, beat it out in the game, right? And he was running down to first base, and when he got past first base, I thought he popped a hamstring. The way he was just moving around when he was past the bag, and they gave him a couple seconds. The first base coach came out, gave him a massage or whatever he did, and I was thinking to myself, man, when he has to run it out, this guy's not. This guy is going to be a permanent DH. I don't even think right field's going to work for this guy, but we shall see. All
Well,
right, that's
well, he's
what's
been
it. Go ahead.
DH and ever since he came off the IL this year, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he's
he's
just
had a
been
couple
DHing.
games in right field. Yeah, you're right. For the most part, it's
But yeah,
DH.
and that's the other thing I noticed too, looking at his stat line. I think there's only two stolen bases, and I'm sure those happened before he got hurt this year. So yeah,
Yeah, and they were.
he's reinventing himself to just that pure power
Yeah,
hitter. I mean,
yeah.
and
Kyle Schwarber.
hey,
You know, hey, whatever pays
let's
the
do
bill.
it.
All right, that's it for
He's
off the
gonna
rails. Yeah.
yep, we're
Okay,
good.
that's it for off the rails. If you, hey, that was a clean ending. That was a clean ending, brother. We're gonna have to bring Wyatt back on. All right, if you
Edit,
could
edit,
hit that like and subscribe. What's that? What was that?
edit, edit.
Okay, yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's my middle name. All right, we'll see you soon on Off the Rails Sports Podcast.